Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, yai da 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 da, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Good Shabbos, everyone. Rabbi.
Shabbat Shalom, Cantor, help us as we always do when we come together. Hey, welcome someone else, whether it's on Facebook Live or on our YouTube chat. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Introduce yourself. Tell us where you're coming from and how you're enjoying this Shabbat with us and making it a little more special because you're part of our community. No matter how long we've been doing this, and now, oh my gosh, we're entering almost month 6. We've continued to stay connected, and I think our Shabbat services have really been a key to that. Singing with Cantor, just linking up with one another, and finding meaning in our time together. So if you'd like to use a prayer book, although it's a Kaya service and we'll be just meditating and singing, you can download that from our resource page on our website. And you can follow along that way as well. More than that, though, just give yourself a pause, give yourself time to reflect and to breathe and to appreciate the gift you've given yourself in joining with us in this moment and making this time your peacefulness, your perspective, your blessing. Breathe in deep. God's gift to each and every one of us. Breathe out your gift to this world. As we sing with Cantor and meditate on the words that the world is built on kindness. Olam Chesed Yibaneh.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yadadai, yadai, yadadai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Tadadai, yadai, dadadai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Tadadai, yadai, yadadai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Tadadai, yadai, yadadai. I will build this world. I will build this world from love. Ta-da-dai, yai-dai, yai-da-da-dai. And you must build this world from love. Ta-da-dai, yai-dai, yai-da-da-dai. And if we build this world from love, ta-da-dai, yai-dai, yai-da-da-dai, then God will build this world from love. Ta-da-dai, yai-dai, dai-dai-dai, olam chesed, olam chesed yibaneh. Ta-da-dai, yai-dai, yai-da-dai, dai.
The kindness that each and every one of us has is what sustains our world. And the reality that we need more of that now, more than ever, but that we have that within. There's always a greater reserve within us if we look deeply. And I see members of our community and I recognize how much kindness there genuinely is. and that we need to bring that into our world. We need to exude that. We need to celebrate that. We need to honor that. Yes, lots of name calling and challenges that fill our days, our airwaves, our news. But we have to remind ourselves of the values that have made us who we are as a people, and how that kindness is so much a part of what we do. How we recognize the ability we have to walk in someone else's shoes, to picture ourselves as best as we can, as difficult as we can as that is, recognizing we can't entirely do it, but that we still are able to reflect on others' lives and our responsibility to help, our responsibility to do more for others, our responsibility to share that kindness. The reality is, I am confident in looking at our community this evening that many of you have done that this past week. So, as we begin our prayers tonight, I want you to close your eyes for a moment. And I want to think of an act of kindness that you did. I want you to think of something that you shared with another that resonated, that helped, that contributed to our world to make it more whole, that sustained its foundation. I'm sure you didn't think of it in that way as you did that kindness, whether it was a thank you, whether it was a favor, whether it was a door opened, whether it was just letting someone else know that they're important in your life. But it's what our world is sustained upon. And now I want you also to think about kindness that may have been given to you. If someone reached out to you, maybe it was a text or an email or a voicemail. Maybe it was a smile or a wave. Maybe it was even that which a stranger may have showed to us in the midst of times when so rarely do we see others. Just someone going out of their way to make us feel better, and how important that is. Recognizing those, we understand the blessings of kindness, and that which truly our world will always be built upon, and our responsibility in continuing to do that every single day.
I will build this world from love. And you must build this world from love. And if we build this world from love, then God will build this world from love. Olam chesed, olam chesed yivaneh.
So with that, we come together as a community. We join in our prayers. We rise if we like, but we gather with our call to worship, the Baruch Hu.
Light Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'vetecha ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
As we think of our world and the blessings that we look for in life, there are times when we may think that they're difficult to find. There may be moments that we seem to only notice the things that are negative, the curses. The Torah portion, again, this week is filled with those things that if we follow God's laws, blessings will ensue, but much more of it is filled with these ripe curses. And I think part of the Torah portion is reminding us of consequences, that saying to us that all of our actions have consequences. And take it one step further, how we look at our world and our lives has consequences as well. Reminds me of a Hasidic story that's told of a man who was fed up with his life. His children were just being particularly loud and cranky all the time. His wife was just not pleased with them and seemingly not pleased with him. And their home was teeny in his mind and nothing was really working. And he was just fed up and he went to go see his Rebbe. And he had told the Rebbe his challenge, his problems, the frustrations he had. And the Rebbe said, "Do you have some chickens?" And the man said, "Well, yes, we do." He said, "Well, then I want you to bring the chickens into the house for them to live with you." The man said, "Okay." Went back home, brought the chickens into the house. They squawked, they made noise, they pooped everywhere. It was just a racket. And the man thought, why is the Rebbe making me do this? But he told me to. So the children were irritated by the chickens. The rooster would wake everyone up even earlier in the morning. And so a week later, he went back to see the Rebbe. He told the Rebbe he's got the chickens in the house. He said, great. He said, how are things? Oh my God, it's so difficult, so rough. He said, the Rebbe, do you have a goat? I said, yes, I do have a goat. He said, bring the goat into the house. The man said, okay. He went home, brought the goat into the house. Well, the goat, of course, was bleeding and it was knocking things with its horns and it was just kicking everything and knocking things over and making a mess. And so a week later, after so much annoyance, he went back to see the Rebbe and he's like, oh my God, Rebbe, I've got chickens, I got roosters, I got a goat. What am I to do? And the Rebbe said, do you have a cow? Man thought, yes, I do have a milk cow. I said, bring the cow into your home. Bring the cow into my 1-bedroom home? What is this, Rebbe, nuts? But he went back to his home and he brought the cow in. Of course, there was no room for anyone, let alone the goat or the chickens or the children or his wife. The cow was making noise. The cow was smelling. It was ridiculously difficult. He went back to the Rebbe a week later and the Rebbe said, okay, let all the animals leave your home. He went home, all the animals quickly got out. He pushed them all out. His children helped clean everything up without him even asking. And everyone seemingly got along. They slept better that night than they ever slept before. And he went back to the Rebbe and said, I am so blessed. My children, they speak kindly to one another. They get along. Our house is big and we have room to move about. And he realized as he was speaking how much the truth is the blessings are what we find in our own lives, in our perspective, and what we wake up to. We sing Hashkivenu as a reminder of we never know what is in front of us the next day, but what we aim to do is to find blessings. We look for the blessings. We find even in the challenges, even in the pain, things to learn and to overcome that difficulty as well. And in doing it as a community, we have the potential to support one another, to lift each other up, and to help each other. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'ha'midenu malkeinu l'chaim ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Let's lie down in peace, God. Permit us to wake up in the security of knowing we are safe and loved.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us with wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu
The routine of our prayers, that which we do every day, every day we gather is what helps us in finding sometimes a spiritual centeredness, or sometimes it's just the routine, the regular that reminds us that we know what we're doing, that we're not alone, that we have community. And I think in not hearing one another's voices, that's one of the most difficult things, one of the most challenging times of the way we worship these days. Hopefully, in your mind, you can hear those prayers. You can hear others, not just Cantor. You can hear a community around you. You can envision that as you join together, as awkward as it is, to sing those prayers with us as well, as we gather in our central prayers of worship, the Amidah.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi agid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu ve'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, ve'Elohei Rachel. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo V'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor leolam Adonai mechayei hakol atah Rav lehoshia morid hatal mechalkel chayim bechesed mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umkayem emunato, lishenei afar. Michamocha ba'al gevurot, u'mido melach, melech memit umchayeh, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמנת על החיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
And so, in the midst of our prayers, do our thoughts turn to those in need of healing and strength with the words of Mishaberach. As we think of those in our community and we reach out and connect with them just by mentioning their names, that they know they're not alone in these times, as we as a community surround one another as well. Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov, v'Imo Tenosar Kohev who Yibrach at the holy and merciful God has blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel. Send your blessings to our loved ones who are stricken with illness, anxiety, especially as friends and family we think of at this time. Eugene Blakeman, Larry Burke, Joel Bustle, Karen Kasman, Patty Seresny, Ezra Chaim Ben Devora, Aaron Finn, Gary Fishman, Adele Giba Band, Kathy Gilman, Paul Goldberg, Barbara Goldman, Sylvia Goldman, Batya Papesha Panina, Charles Gross, Hank Heiser, Rebecca Horn, Michael Ingber, Sarah Jacobson, Victor Kislak, Serafina Coffrin, Marta Lazar, Henry Leopold, Nina Levieva, Jan Lavelle, Rylan Laughlin, Zoe Marcus, Beth Margolin, Joyce Maza, Ellie Meisler, Scott Miles, Rabbi Robert Nosenchuk, Eric Perez, Leslie Pillings, Karen Rapoli, Tommy Rivers Boozy, Miriam Lambatano Esther, Barbie Ryder, Alan Rosen, the St. Amman family, Amy Salmanoff, Diane Silverstein, Suzanne Zalesnik Smith, Jerry Starnes, Chaim Shmuel Ben Noach, Kochab Ben Noach. All those, of course, battling the coronavirus both at home and in the hospital. So 20,095 American troops have been injured in Iraq and Afghanistan to date. And all the names in our hearts. Baruch, Atah Narafel Chalim. Bless you, God, to give strength to those in need.
מקור הברכה לאמותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We add to our Mishiberach prayers and to our Shabbat services a prayer we've now been saying for nearly 6 months, the prayer for the healers, for those who help. May the God who's blessed our ancestors, plus all those who put themselves at risk to care for the sick, physicians, nurses, orderlies, technicians, home health aides, EMTs, pharmacists, hospital social workers, respiratory therapists, those who navigate unfolding dangers of our world each day, to tend to those they have sworn to help. Bless them in their coming home and bless them in their going out. Ease their fear and sustain them. Source of all breath, healer of all beings, protect them, restore their hope, strengthen them, and keep them in health. Bless the sacred work of their hands, and may this plague pass from among us speedily and in our days. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
We continue with our prayers of Aleinu together.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, לגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
And so, as we gather together, even in our distant ways, so can we support one another and create our minyan in order to be able to say Kaddish. So can we offer strength in praising God for the gift of life and remembering those who are no longer, supporting mourners, supporting community, and helping each other even in the most difficult of times. So this time in our prayers, our thoughts turn to those taken from our midst in this past week and month, whose shoshim we mark, friends and family of our congregation. Mickey Stern, Beatrice Elkin, Richard Brewer, Neil Uditsky, Francis Marks and Hilda Appleblatt, Bill Cooperstock, Reverend Stephen Rooney, Kenneth Gitlin, David Goodman, George Mogul, Anith Janender, Pat Carey, Jack Kirsch, as well as those who Chanel, Bettina Mark, Fanny Zuckerman, and the 2,420 Americans in our armed forces lost in Afghanistan and surrounding areas to date. Linking their names and names of your sites we mark on the Shabbat. Those whose anniversary of passing we lovingly commemorate: Sharon Allen, Michael Aronovitz, Sylvia Barish, Ruth Berkowitz, Jason Botson, Tracy Bowman, Phyllis Bratt, Jean Burke, Joseph Burke, Bernard Burrow, Helena Chernak, Charles Cohen, Paul Doigan, Jacob Henry Dorn, Robert Warman, Rose Epstein, Sharon Joy Hoffman Fiander, Thomas Fromm, Harmon Gallant, Ben Gelman, Sheldon Gilbert, Meyer Hertzberg, John Hole, Mary Hamasak, Florence Howard, Jean Jakubiak, Aaron Katzman, Ann Kamen, Roger Lebov, Ellen Levy, H. Kirk Lewis, Celia Cohn Michaels, Jacob Moray, Rebecca Lakin Mullen, Jean Newling, Martha Odell, Douglas Pierce, David Polk, Leah Simca Regenstein, Rosalind Rock, Helen Rome, Hyman Rosenberg, Millie Roth, Sarah Rizka, Melvin Shearer, Robert Schlaff, Jason, Eric Schwartz, Bruce Side, Don Scharfman, Lily Sharova, Bonya Shore, Rose Silverstein, Lester Singer, Mary Steffen, Joseph Taylor, Samuel Toby, Seymour Unger, Eva Goldberg Weinstein, Ruth Yarrows. Linking their names to all the names that we do not recite on the Shabbat. Those of every people, every faith, every family whose lives have touched ours, as well as those who have no one to stand and say Kaddish for them. So do we stand together as one community and family and join in the immortal words of mourners Kaddish. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, b'yama divra chirute v'yamich malchute, b'chayachon of yomechon u'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'gala u'vizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olama me'amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar, v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitnadar v'yitnaleh v'yitnalal, shemei d'kudesha b'richu. Ve'amin kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, tatmaram b'yama v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlomo rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. The source of peace, and peace to those who mourn. Comfort to those who are bereaved here and everywhere. And let us say, Amen.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו
Good Shabbos, everyone.
Good Shabbos.
And so, for a brief moment, a couple things to share with all of you, as well as a moment or two. If you have a question of Tish, we can field that. First of all, with the holidays around the corner, if you haven't uploaded your video for Shir Shalom, wishing everyone a Shana Tova or favorite holiday memory, please do so. It's a beautiful Oneg tribute that we'll be able to do and share with everyone. You've seen those emails, but you can message me, and you have a few more hours to get those videos in. Very simple, really lovely to do. Also, of course, the high holidays will all be online and you'll be able to watch and be a part of them. And we want you to create your own sacred space, your Mikdash Ma'at, as you've seen and you will see in the scribe and the emails that are going out about how to create that space, that opportunity for prayer in advance of the start of the holidays, and what you can do for that as well, with a number of suggestions. Other things that are around the corner, of course, Tish tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, Minyan at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, in honor of Labor Day. There will not be a Monday morning musings this week. Yes, but we'll resume them. They'll be continuing as an opportunity to teach and share and enjoy, as I've been doing for these past, 5 months of this. So, other Tish questions. Well, I'm enjoying all of your time. Someone asked me about a question about Black Lives Matter, and is it a conflict or challenge to say that because of some of the challenges within the organization that have been anti-Israel in some of their statements. And when we say Black Lives Matter, we're not talking necessarily about the organization. We're saying that Black lives matter to us, right? And the idea that one synagogue I saw posted, Black Lives Matter, tzedek tzedek tirdo, Black lives matter to us. And it's just the idea that lives matter, and that we recognize as a Jewish community, we have responsibility, and it's a really important recognition for us to be making. And especially for someone like me who has benefited as a white person in this world and society, and what my Black friends have really helped me understand, and I've seen and realized in these past 4 months too. Never wanting to take that for granted, and realizing at times that we have, and what we have as a responsibility to help others too. Really important for us. So, Cantor, am I forgetting anything else to be sharing right now? No, really?
You covered it super duper, Rabbi.
Oh, super duper. Well, it is bar mitzvah season now. And so that means Cantor and I have a service at 7:30. And so that's one thing that we sort of take turns and try to create, and still give our opportunity for us and our community to have these prayers and our Shabbat. And so we're going to sign off in just a moment, but we ask of us on this Labor Day weekend to be able to all have that perspective, to soak in the warmth, the sun, the air, the blessings around us, to give thanks for the ability to work and labor and what that means for us as a community, and to share in the sweetness of this moment of Shabbat and our time together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagan. Amen. L'chaim, everyone.
L'chaim. Oh, that white grape juice is interesting. Okay, so let us give thanks and let us ask for God's blessing for us all.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless us. May God protect us.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'choneka.
May God's light shine upon us and shine through us.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God always be a part of who we are as individuals, as a community, giving us all of our hopes and helping us recognize all of our blessings. Most of all, blessing us with shalom, with peace. Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Have a great week, and look forward